Hello and welcome, or welcome back if you're a returning viewer to the channel. WB here, and in this video what I want to do is show you how you can use something known as the OCT or the Office Customization Tool to customize your Office deployments. Remember, I ask you as always, if you like what you see on the channel, be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell. Like, share, comments are always welcome, and check out the description there for the link to our community Discord server so that you and I can continue this discussion. All right, everybody, without further ado, let's dive in. Right, here we are, everybody, on my Windows desktop, and I am logged into a different admin center that we're going to have to be familiar with if we talk about Microsoft 365 Endpoint Administration, right? And definitely for that MD 102 exam. And that is the Microsoft 365 Apps Admin Center, right? Be careful, this isn't the Microsoft 365 Admin Center, and yes, I know, slightly tricky there, but remember, text-based answers on questions, just that one slight variation of a single word completely changes up the context of the administrative portal that you're using. So we are logged in, and what we want to do is customize our Office deployments. So in order to do this, we're going to come over to Customization, and under Customization there's Device Configuration. Now with this, be careful, because you've seen other videos where I've showed you how to deploy configuration policies here. These are not those device configuration profiles as much as this says device configuration. I want you to think about these as Office configurations that tell your device how to install Office, right? So these deployment configurations under My Configurations, when we create these are how we're going to customize our Office deployments. Now, if you want some really quick basic configurations, you can go to standard configurations, right? And there's a lot of different things that we can do, even controlling on what update channel we want to be a part of, right? I can select one of these, and then I can come up here and I can choose download, and what you'll see here in a second is it should download it right to my device here. Let me go ahead and see if I can open that file up here, and it should open up in Visual Studio, I believe. We're going to find out here real quick. Hold our breath, cross your fingers. All right, and I just wanted to show you that this is what we're essentially doing. We're creating an XML file that is going to define the basic settings, right? So you can see this is what the XML or configuration file that we just downloaded here. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to close this. It'll probably ask me to save it. Okay, good. It didn't. Great. So, and then there's some modern app settings too. Again, these essentially need to be here for other components inside of Microsoft or Office to work. So, let's go back to My Configurations, and we're going to choose Create. Now, when we choose Create, we're going to name our configuration policy or profile. All right, so I'm going to call this x64, just so I know the architecture. This is going to be for my Northeast US, and maybe this deployment is for sales, right? So that's our name. Right, and there's a variety of things that we can configure. So just as a heads up real quick, again, kind of grayed out here, can't really do anything yet, but products and releases, language installation, update and upgrade, licensing and activation, general configuration, and application preferences. Now, again, I mention this because on the exam, I'm not sure what you're going to see. Hopefully, you'll see an exhibit like this and you'll know exactly how to do it. But you might get those text-based answers, so definitely be aware of that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and keep with my naming convention. So we're using x64 64-bit. What products are we going to deploy? Well, we're going to deploy the Office Suite. Right, and what we can do is I'm going to go ahead. Let's deploy our Microsoft 365 apps for Enterprise. All right, and if we have any Visio licensing that we want to add to this as well, we can too. And if we have any additional packages or products that we want to add, we can. So for instance, if we're not supporting just English-based deployments here, we want to maybe add support for additional languages, especially if you think about it, in a multinational and international company as well. That could be something that we need All right, and we can also define the update channel, right? How fast do we want updates to be available? Maybe we go on the monthly enterprise channel, and what version do we want it to be upgraded to? And we can select which version here as well. I'm just going to leave the default and the latest. And as we move through here, we can turn on or off. Maybe there are some of these, apps that we really don't want to, deploy to people. Maybe we don't use Publisher, and maybe we don't want the classic Outlook, right? So we can configure that as well too. And you can see the background service for Bing. Let's go ahead and choose next. Let's look at our language. Right, I can install the language. Then keep in mind, if we've got the additional language packs, that'll come with it. So if we want to add them after the fact, we can. Again, we can also add additional languages here as well too. Let's see, I am going to click away from that. We're good. Let's go ahead and choose next. One of the great things is that when you customize your Office deployments, you can use the Microsoft Office Content Delivery Network. Remember, with this CDN, it puts the resources that you're going to download to install the Office suite closer to the geographical location of the users or consumers of those applications. We can also specify a local source or even use the Microsoft Endpoint Configuration Manager. All right, I'm going to go ahead and choose next. All right, and let's scroll down, right? What are some of the update and upgrade options, right? We've looked at that. Upgrade options here for MSI versions, right? The Microsoft installer packets. Again, do we want to uninstall any current versions, right? And we can control that too. Next, we can also control our licensing, right? Do we want to automatically accept the licensing agreement? We can choose that as well too. Keep in mind, subject to the notes here as well. So you got to abide by your licensing. If we have shared computer subscription level, we can do shared computer, but do keep in mind that that requires you to have the appropriate subscription. I'm going to go ahead and choose product activation is based on the user account. Could be device-based, but I'm going to go ahead and choose next. And do we want to provide an organization's name, to set the company property on Office documents? So maybe I do WB training, right? Oops, and you can see I can't spell training, right? All right, and a description for this configuration for documentation purposes. This is the Northeast Branch sales team config or something like that. All right, and then we choose next, and then we can also define application preferences as well. So a lot of different things that we can do here. I'm going to go ahead, just keep in mind that, again, it gets very, very granular here. And on the exam, I do not believe that they're going to expect you to know individual settings here, but more so knowing that you can set application preferences here likewise too. All right, and again, kind of scrolling down, there's a lot of them there, right? And then from here, what we can do, once that is done, we've got all of our categories set. We can choose done here. It'll validate that those settings. Notice then I've got a description here. This is the Northeast Branch sales team configuration. I can go into this configuration here. And I can see, again, if I need to make any modifications after the fact, I can certainly do that. If I want to download this, I can download this. A couple of things that it's going to ask you. It's going to ask you on a default file format, and then you're going to get another pop-up box here. I'm just going to go ahead and keep the current settings as not configured, choose OK. And now it's asking me to download the configuration to XML. Like I said, second little dialog box we interact with. We choose download, and now, voila, goes into my my downloads folder here. Let's go ahead and open this one up. This one's going to be a little bit more detailed than the one that we looked at earlier. Maybe not too much. Sometimes it surprises me. There's like 3 lines it added. I have a feeling we're going to see 10 or 15 more lines than we've seen in the basic configuration. But this is how, and again, not much to it, right? It's very simplistic. Let me see if I can zoom in here a little bit so you can see this, right? We got our configuration ID. We got the description that we've seen, right? What edition, right? 64-bit edition, channel equals monthly enterprise, right? You all were there with me when I configured this. What is the product ID? O365. So if you see Microsoft 365, remember that's what we deployed. Office 365, Microsoft 365. Just pay attention to the context here, because Microsoft 365 is what you might see them call the apps called as well too. Notice we have some exclusions too. For the exam, maybe just pay attention to what the exclusion kind of looks like, right? It's just exclude app space ID equals, right? So what are some other things? Some various properties. The shared computer licensing value equals 0, because we did not check that. Force app shutdown value equals false. We didn't enforce that. And notice that we chose the user licensing, right? So it's saying that this value equals 0, so we didn't choose device-based licensing. And we can also see the tenant ID likewise too, the company name where we filled in WB Training, and there you have it. That is how you can customize your Office deployments, right? And remember, in order to do this, we were inside of the Microsoft 365 App Admin Center under Device Configuration, and we created a configuration profile. Remember that you also have the ability, if you want, to download some one-off standardized configurations, and that'll give you your XML file without having to go through the wizard. And there you have it, right? So you have now learned how you can customize your Office deployments with Microsoft 365, the Apps Admin Center, and the XML configurations we use specifically with the OCT, right? Remember, that is the Office configuration tool, right? When you create one of these, you go through that Office customization tool here, and that essentially is your OCT. Let me go ahead. I'm going to back out of this, go back to device configurations. Looks like I have an untitled one now, so good job. We'll remove that. We'll show you how to manage them too, right? So there you have it, everybody. Very easy process once you know what you're looking for. Remember on the exam some of the different locations we've been, especially when it comes to some of the naming conventions. It might be something that's going to be important. And if you like what you see on the channel, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, like, share. Comments are always welcome. And check out the description for the link to our community Discord server so that you and I can continue this discussion. And thank you so much for taking the time and watching.